a guy like a 6ix9ine come about in the first place with the clown hair and the rainbow hair and all that, whatever, in the first place, and be positioned in the subculture, of gang activity, which is so pervasive with this young generation, the young generation that listens to hip hop. They're very much into the gang ideology because of the same reason of everything else we're talking about, because the music drove them that way. The imagery drove them that way to think, oh, the gang shit is cool. Even though it don't make no fucking money, it's cool. You know what I mean? So that's why the gang shit got popular. So in the gang shit getting popular, the idea of being about money becomes less popular. The bar is lowered. Because now it ain't about getting money, it's about getting into shit and being in shit. You know what I mean? And going back to pressure about making no money in that. I could be a part of that. That's the bar being lowered. Before, niggas couldn't even think about participating because it was all about using your head, staying alive, staying free, and getting money. Those are they were too difficult to do. But I can crash out. That's easy.
Our pride in Detroit was that gang culture could never take hold because our hustler culture was so dominant.
Yes.
That the thought that you wear a different color than me, but you got a bag. Your bag is taking a 10. Your bag is taking a 20. I don't care what color T-shirt you wear, I'm fucking with you.
That's it. I don't give a fuck.
See?
We
couldn't
like that
get
color?
caught
Cool.
up.
How about green? You like that color?
We couldn't get caught up into that because at that time and how times have changed, because now there is at least a small stream of gang culture the youngers tell me about. But in my day, it couldn't work because we trying to get some money, and I don't care what color he wear or what street he live on. If that nigga trying to do good business, let's do business.
That's it.
Period.
That's it.
Period.
I don't give a fuck who we like, who we don't like. I don't give a fuck about none of that. That's y'all
No,
in your
no,
emotions and your feelings. Your emotions and your feelings, they ain't got no monetary value to me. I don't give a fuck.
If his bag is right, we fucking with him. Period.
That's it. That's all. Ain't nothing else to it. But that was a bar. That was a standard, and that standard was made who came before us, and we continued that. But those next generations who became enamored with the idea of being who we were, that next generation who had no wherewithal as to how people like the people we were even came into being, but just wanted it.
Yeah.
The guys who started clawing at the standards and clawing at the bar and pull the bar down. Come on, pull it down. I wanna get in. But no, nigga, you ain't real enough. You ain't built enough. You ain't strong enough. You ain't sharp enough. You don't belong here. No, I want to play. I want to play. And after a while, it's like one of those zombie movies and shit. You know what I mean? It's like you blowing them back, you putting it in their head, you blowing them back. But it's after a while, it's like, there's too many of these motherfuckers. You know, they're trying to.
And they're financed by it.
Get your suck ass out of. You gotta be an octopus and shit. Both of y'all.
Go ahead.
Both of y'all are buffering.
That's you.
I can hear you though.
That's you buffering.
I'm not buffering. I see both of y'all buffering.
I see you doing it.
Yeah, that's weird.
We see you doing it.
I can hear y'all though.
Let me go back inside.
Like you just did it.
Good.
Like you just did it. You just buffed.
And I don't know why. I'm not moving. I don't know what that's indicative of. But go ahead, Court.
I was gonna say, me taping it here, anything might start happening. Who knows?
Right. Yeah. It's true. That's true.
Yeah. I was gonna say though, but there was a corporate side to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's lyrics couldn't be held to the Nas, Jay-Z, Snoop level, right? because there's just not going to be that many talented guys with their words.
That's
So
right.
if I want to build a big business and it's underpinned with this street hustler mentality, I got to take away the standards. You got to be a real street guy. You know what I mean? The whole thing had to be diluted for it to become mainstream. And the music
Bingo.
got diluted.
Bingo.
Like you can't imagine a guy in the 90s making a song about running off on the plug. That
Absolutely
could
not.
not
They'd
have,
be
that
ostracized.
lyric could not have existed in 96.
It wouldn't have left the studio. They'd have been like, what is this nigga talking about? Yo, change that right now.
Or he'd have got kicked
Right.
out the studio
You
because
try
they'd
to
have
get
been like, who's
you try to get niggas killed.
you trying to get niggas killed, man.
Yes.
You can't say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Real talk.
Like you are
Real talk.
encouraging people to run off on a man.
Like what? How does that help?
How does that help us?
Right. But it's like now, and this, I think this is how this came up in our conversation this morning. The way that things being orchestrated by this administration, they are reducing access and opportunity left and right. And the less opportunity that there is, obviously, the less can be, lower will be pushed down to the point like it was prior to all the things that this administration is undoing were created in the first place, like all the things that were put into place by way of the civil rights movement that this administration is slowly undoing. If you take away those guardrails and those protections that were put into place in the first place because of disadvantage that it subjected us to, then we return to the condition that existed prior to those things being put into place. That's just the math of logic. It's just the math of fucking logic, man. So you can't take away equal rights under the law or move freely about the country based upon, our skin color. Like the things that were put in administrations is removing those things, talking about, oh, those things aren't necessary anymore. It's not necessary anymore that those things be stipulated in law. It's not necessary anymore because we don't have that problem anymore. So they're removing those things, which means it's once again legal to overtly discriminate against a person based on the fact that they are black or they are Muslim or they are Christian or whatever have you. Because, we don't need those things anymore. And people are watching it happen and not really understanding that it doesn't mean nothing. If it meant nothing, then it wouldn't bother doing it. Something. And it means that you're being pushed back to a point in a condition where you did not have the ability and the liberties that you had after these new laws and legislations were put into place based upon the work that was being done, the sacrifices being made, the rights movement. Like they're putting you back where you were. So before you know it, all those stories that you used to hear about how your grandma used to go to the white folks' house, like my grandma. My grandma used to go to the white folks' house out in Long Island and be there. Like, because what other opportunities were there? This is the condition they're reducing us back to, actively, intentionally, and very systemically. Like they're doing it it's been 6 months. Y'all have no idea, many of you, no idea the amount of undermining they've done in 6 months. They've taken us back 30 years in 6 months. This is a country of laws. So when they undo the laws, the country changes. No different than if you didn't put a certain ingredient in a recipe. Well, if you don't put a particular ingredient, it's no longer the same fucking dish. It ain't gonna taste the same. Just because you didn't put a particular element in it or a couple of different elements. Then the more you take from it, the less it is what it was. That's what this is. I'm trying to put it into terms that my people can fucking understand what I'm saying. You know?
Well, bro, I think you got a couple. I'm sorry, you got a couple problems.
No, good.
The lack of knowledge that and you know, I guess we all have to take some blame in this. We don't know our history, right? So what you're describing to protect, they don't even know that they need protection from, because they never even knew it existed. So a brother walking down the street circa 2025 with a white girl on his arm, he has no idea how many brothers got lynched for him to be able to do that today. Right? He has no clue that there was a time not that long ago.
No.
A brother was beat savagely for whistling at a white woman. But they live in this
which never
digital
actually
world,
happened.
Which never actually happened. Well, the number
Talking
one
about
accusation
Emmett Till for y'all to know. Emmett Till
right,
for
I'm
y'all
talking
to
about
know,
Emmett Till.
Never happened.
There's a great place, bro, down in that I suggest everybody go, but anybody who's melanated who look like us, in Montgomery, Alabama, called the Lynching Museum.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of it.
Yeah. It's like 20 football fields. And they took a plot of dirt from each recorded lynching in this country and actually did the homework to put a person's name. It will put what you're talking about in some real perspective about that there had to be anti-lynching laws made. That's how prevalent lynching was, that they had to create anti-lynching laws. But man, they done dummied us down so much. And we got a generation so distracted with a smartphone that has truly made them dumb.
As fuck.
That will be the punchline for the future. 100 years from now, I'm sure they will write about how the smartphone was used to dummy down a country, or how the smartphone was used to dummy down
A society, an entire society, global society, like for real, like
yeah,
it's happening everywhere.
We don't know why the Chinese TikTok ain't like our TikTok, because the Chinese wouldn't have let their kids be exposed to the shit that our kids get exposed to on TikTok. So anyway, it's deep, but you're talking right, man. Things that we are going backwards in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Again, that's me and the customer were just talking about, man. The small businessman, the middle class, that shit disappearing, man.
On purpose.
On
purpose.
Definitely architected, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, and I don't think that even the most uninitiated member of our group would argue that. But what I often find is that they'll express an understanding of something or an awareness of something, but then there's nothing behind it. It's like, oh yeah, no doubt, that's definitely it's like that. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up, whatever.
Because they're not thinking,
what, nigga?
They not thinking big picture. That with this AI and this robotics, when ain't nobody really gonna need, they're not gonna need to employ many of us.
That's right.
Right? So these people's job is control. So they got to mentally prepare a whole big percentage of this country to be controlled. Can't control a middle class or a small business people because they got economics of their own. All right. Some people, not me, Mr. Government out there, some people believe that whole, not me, I don't believe this. Some people believe that whole stimulus check thing was a test run to how much money do you need just to give the masses to keep them happy and passive. and pacified. That I could probably, how much do I got to give them to tell them, don't go to work, don't go outside, or you can go outside then? How much control will they sacrifice for a for sure check? And I think if, of course, again, Mr. Illuminati, I don't have an opinion on these things. But other people would say,
them other people, yeah.
Them other people. Oh, this your man, Eddie, baby. Hold on.
This reminds me of another point that he brought up this morning in that conversation. And I think, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a high opinion of a great number of our people. Said it. I don't. I'm not somebody who's removed from our culture. I'm not some Indian person, or some Asian person, or some Caucasian person. I'm a nigga from the hood. Been in the hood all my life. Like even when I moved out of the hood, I was still in the hood all the time. In real time. So I've watched what has happened. I've learned. I've studied. So I've gotten levels of consciousness and awareness that gave me perspectives on what I was seeing. And having perspective on what you're seeing is far more valuable than just seeing what you're seeing. A lot of people believe their experiences to be comparable to mine or to Courtney's because they come from the circumstances environmentally that we come. They do not have the perspectives that we have. So their view of the things that we have seen mutually is not the same at all. Their takeaways from what we've seen collectively is not the same. They'll look at somebody do something like go to the club and throw $50,000, $60,000 and be like, yo, that was the shit. When I get home, I'm gonna do that shit, whatever. And we'll look at that and be like, this stupid motherfucker, that's the motherfucker's feds right there. Again, they watching, they on them. They're already on them. Perspective. Because our development in these circumstances gave us a different perspective. We saw things differently. We saw things through a different lens. So we didn't turn out the same way. I got to really see how largely mindless our group is. They're mindless. Fucking mindless, man. They're mindless. They don't have a fucking clue. They don't know who they are, what they are, where they are, how they are. Nothing. They're fucking clueless. And this is the case because of everything that comes out of them, bro. Everything that comes out of them is indicative of there's something fucking really limited in your brain, bro. If you think that the things you're saying in your rap records, the things you're displaying in your rap videos, or the things you're displaying in your social media videos, if you think it's cool for you and the guy who you are going back and forth with, your organization, your little group of guys and his little, and you think it's cool to get on live and talk to each other about, yeah, nigga, just miss your ass and so such didn't like everything. I'm gonna catch you. All right, bro. You know what I'm saying? I see you. You know what I'm saying? But I saw you coming out of so such house the other night. You're happy I didn't have my motherfucking thing on me, whatever. You think that shit's cool? If you look at that and think that's cool, you a dead motherfucker walking. You're dead from the neck up. If you're doing that, you're dead from the neck up. You stupid as fuck. I see a lot of our people subscribing to these ideas, man. Subscribing to them either by way of consuming it for entertainment or whatever have you, or participating in it. Way more than, say, 10 years ago. Forget about 20 years ago. So we're going in the opposite direction. Niggas are going down, but they shit is turned upside down. So they think they're going up.
Well, I think,
don't
bro,
have that opinion.
I think when people start talking like you're talking, it's like we all become Debbie Downer. Because everything you said is true. But we're not the most serious culture, right? And so difficult, hard conversations, it's hard for us because it all gets real personal. You know, it's like it's like if you say something about, well, what we have in the African American community is a case study on what happens with baby mama culture. We now got a solid 30 years of hard evidence. Look at your communities. This is what happens when 80% of your women don't have husbands. Now, that's not a judgment. That's just a fact, right? You can look at the data and you look at your community, but if you go down that road, it's going to make it sound like you attacking sisters. And so that get hard because they are victim of the same situation that we actually trying to talk about to come up with some ideas on how to improve the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we, in my opinion, like the building blocks for success ain't a secret. You can look around at every other culture and community and say, well, what they do and why they keep winning. So somebody would say, well, if you want to win, you should start mimicking what they do, right? If you want to play basketball like Jordan, you might want to embrace the same workout regimen he got, right? If he shoot 1,000 free throws a day, you might want to shoot 1,000 free throws a day. All right? If he keep working on his fadeaway every day, you might want to work on your fadeaway. We understand that when it comes to sports, but we don't understand it when it comes to life or business.
Wow.
Everybody want to be a hustler, but they don't mimic any of the things that our mentors taught us about the game. And therefore, they wonder why they don't get the same outcome that we got or that our mentors got. Hustlers are financially frugal people.
That's right.
Because your bag ain't going to grow unless you putting your money back into your business.
That's right.
That ain't the flashy part of it, right? But it's the truth. Not spending re-up money. That's called financial discipline. To understand, yeah, I got a bunch of money, but this part of the bag ain't my money. That's the people's money.
Gotta feed the machine.
I gotta feed the machine. I cannot go to the strip club and throw that man's money up in the air like it's mine. My insecurities can't be so great. And my thirst for I believe they call it, for clout, my thirst for shining, my thirst for drip, it can't be so great that it make me be financially foolish with the hustle's money. Not if I ever really want to be that guy that I pretend like I want to be. Right? You got to work to be that guy that you really want to be. It can't happen on one flip. But if you just in it for the show of it all, I don't know, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I know we're doing some form of a public service by at least bringing these kind of things out
and
into
that's
the
all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do, bro. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to cast, disparaging shadows over my people, nothing like that. But like what you said about how a person bringing the unpleasant points to the forefront being deemed a Debbie Downer, that's why a lot of cats that got some sense go along to get along to the point of their own detriment, because they don't want to be perceived as you know, the guy who always brings up the negative stuff or whatever have you. But it's like, if nobody's talking about it because they're all so concerned about their social status, then when of these issues, when is it going to happen? If nobody's willing to put their popularity on the line, when, you know, what do the babies have to look forward to?
Worse. Not only now is it your popularity, there's big business in promoting the destructive patterns of our community, whether it be in music, whether it be on this online shit, where talking crazy to one another, disrespecting one another has become a business model, right?
Yep.
There is a financial, bruh, we both in the same space. I could really run up bigger numbers online if I talked crazy.
Yes, and me too.
You too, right? Facts. I get punished for attempting to enlighten my people.
Yes.
There's like a fight. There's like, hey, they'd be like sending a message. Who told you to tell them that? Don't do that no more.
Yes. Yeah. People don't know what we're talking about. They don't know what we're talking about when you say that. But they don't understand the people that we come from. They don't consider themselves part of the broader collective. We're part of a relatively small group, you know, and we keep to ourselves, and telling people outside of our group, you know, pulling a sucker coattail, putting a that shit, yo. They frown at it. It's like, you're telling those motherfuckers shit for? What you talking to those motherfuckers for? What you telling them stuff for? Let them motherfuckers believe what they believe. Fuck them.
You mean the game is to be sold, not be told?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. See, these cats hear stuff like that, but they frown on it. They don't understand what it's tethered to. They have no idea what it's tethered to. They think it's just slick stuff to be saying slick stuff because they think everybody's a fucking rapper. You know, a lot of these motherfuckers never got exposed to no real, savvy shit, you know, slick shit, fast shit, because they don't come from that. Mommy's square as a fuck, daddy's twice as square as a pool table and greener than a fucking pasture. Like, they don't come from that. They don't come from that. So when that's why they're so enamored with, that's why squares are so enamored with rappers, slick talking rappers and all that, because they don't grow up hearing these kinds of things. So when they grow up, when they get to a point and they start hearing these things, they start tapping into the music and the culture, whatever that they start hearing this stuff. It's like, yo, that sounds so cool. You know, that's so, I want to say stuff like that. Like, it's like, but the shit is attached to something. Like, the motherfuckers who are saying what they're saying, they're out of context. They just saying shit because it sound cool. They don't have no idea what they're saying. Like, running off on the plug. He don't know what the fuck he's saying. That cocksucker never had no fucking plug. You don't know what he's saying? Y'all are listening to this nigga. He don't know what he is saying. He has no idea what he is saying. It just sounds slick.
Because real world, people hunt their entire life for a real plug.
That's
so
right.
Therefore, once you found one, the last thing you would do would be run off on it.
Burn the bridge.
I mean, but right, they have
people consume this music.
Don't know that
reference. They don't know point of reference. It just sounds slick. They don't understand. A lot of them do not understand what that actually means at all. It's like run off on the plug. They don't know it means. You know, the guy that you as a aspiring young hustler, you know, scrounging and scraping to, you know, get access to some degree of a reasonable, you know, quality of material so that you can be competitive in the street. And then, like, you work your way to a point where you got a couple of dollars, and somebody who's really serious, who's really in position, who really has access, who can really an amount and a quality and a level of product that will change your whole trajectory. Like
Right.
you
Your
go
life.
from being a motherfucker that is like nothing to a motherfucker that everything is just laid out. Like you just got everything you fucking need.